So for correlation and regression, they both are used to study the relationship between two variables or more variables. So for relational study, we start with scatter plot. Scatter plot is used to detect whether two variables are related or not, and if there is a relationship, then what is its type. For constructing scatter plot, we take one variable on horizontal axis, or you can say x-axis, and other variable on the vertical axis, which is called as y-axis. And the points x comma y are marked on the graph. Then scatter plot is obtained. So scatter plots look like there are some examples of scatter plot. When all the points lies on the same line, then it is called as perfect positive linear relationship. Here you can see that all the points occur at same straight line. Therefore, it is a perfect positive linear relationship, and one variable increases, then other variable also increases. If one variable increases and other variable increases, but all the points does not lie on the same line, then it is called as positive linear relationship. That that is the difference between perfect positive and positive linear, is that in perfect positive linear relationship all point lies on the same line, whereas in positive linear point may deviates on the sorry, points may be deviate from the line. In same manner, there is perfect negative linear and negative linear relationship. In perfect negative linear relationship, if one variable increases, other variable decreases, and all the point lie on the same line. That is in this manner. Whereas in negative linear relationship, all the points does not lie on the same line, but if value of one variable increased, then other variable decreased. If line comes out to be parallel to the horizontal or vertical axis, then it is said that there is no relationship between the variables. And if it takes the shape of some curve like parabola, ellipse, or any other shape, then it is called as curvilinear relationship. Here it is an example of curvilinear relationship where it look like second degree equation for the curve. Then before studying the relationship, we will go for covariance, and it is used for obtaining the correlation as well as the regression. So covariance is also a measure of relationship between two variables, but it doesn't say how strong the relationship is. If x and y are two variables, then covariance is given by, for raw data, covariance x and y is equals to 1 upon n summation xi minus x bar into yi minus y bar. The formula can also be written in this manner, that covariance xy is equals to 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi yi minus 1 upon n summation xi into 1 upon n summation yi. The calculation second formula is much easier as compared to first one. For frequency data, the covariance is given by covariance xy is equals to 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to k fi xi minus x bar into yi minus y bar. Or if we expand the formula, then it will comes out to be 1 upon n summation fi xi yi minus 1 upon n summation fi xi into 1 upon n summation fi yi. Covariance has some properties like same as variances. So if x and y are two continuous variables and a, b, c and d be any constants, then covariance of ax and by will be ab covariance of xy. That is, it is not free from change of scale. And if we add some quantity, that means it is free from change of origin, that is If we add some quantity to x and some constant quantity to variable y, then covariance will remain unchanged. That is covariance x plus c and y plus d is equals to covariance of xy. Both properties 1 and 2 can be simultaneously written as covariance ax plus c comma by plus d is equals to ab covariance of xy. That is, we can say that covariance is free from change of origin but not of scale. If variable x and y are independent, then covariance of xy is equals to 0. But it converse is not true. That is, if covariance x comma y comes out to be 0, then x and y may be independent, may be that are not independent. They may be related but curvilinearly related. So if these are independent, then covariance will be always be 0. But if covariance is 0, then x and y may be independent, may be curvilinearly related. And covariance of ax plus by comma cx plus dy will give ac into variance of x plus bd variance of y plus ac plus bd into covariance of xy. Now we come to correlation. Correlation is used to represent the strongness of the relationship between two variables. The scatter plot is used to make a guess about the relationship among two variables, but it cannot tell how much strong the relationship is. In same manner, covariance also cannot tell how much strong the relationship between two variables is. To overcome this difficulty, correlation coefficients are used. It measures the strongness of the linear relationship among two variables. Always remember, correlation is used when variables are supposed to be linearly related. Generally, two type of correlation coefficients are used. One is called as Karl Pearson's correlation coefficient, other is called as Spearman rank correlation coefficient. Karl Pearson correlation coefficient is also called as product moment correlation coefficient or Karl Pearson's product moment correlation coefficient. It is used if some of assumptions are fulfilled. These assumptions are: one variable should be continuous. That means both x and y should be measured on continuous scale. And both the variables should be normally distributed. If any of the assumption is not fulfilled, then Karl Pearson's correlation coefficient is not used. It is given by formula R is equals to covariance xy upon square root of variance of x into variance of y. R denotes the correlation coefficient between variable x and variable y. It can also be written as Rxy. Properties: if x and y be continuous variable and a b c d be any constant, then we can define two new variables. W is equals to ax plus b and z is equals to cy plus d. Then correlation between w and z will be same as the correlation between x and y. That means rw comma z is equals to rxy. In other words, correlation is free from change of origin and change of scale. That is, it does not depend upon the change of origin and change of scale. If two variables are independent, then correlation among these would always be zero. But converse is not true. Again, if correlation comes out to be zero, then we cannot interpret that variables are independent. They may be independent, they may be curvilinearly related. The value of product moment correlation coefficient always lies between -1 and +1. If it deviates from these values, that is, it is comes out to be smaller than -1, that is -2 or -1 point something, or comes out to be greater than +1, then that shows that your calculation is wrong in some manner. How these values are interpreted? So if correlation coefficient is gives negative value, that is, it is lies between -1 and 0, then variables are said to be negatively correlated. If value lies between 0 and plus 1, then variables are said to be positively correlated or positively linearly related. If value comes out to be 0, then variables are said to be uncorrelated. That means that are not related, or they may be curvilinearly related. That means non-linearly related. There is another manner of interpretation with the help that can be interpreted with the help of magnitude, that is mod of r, that is positive value of correlation is smaller than zero point 0.3, that is it lies between 0 and zero point 0.3, then variables are said to be slightly correlated. If value of positive value of correlation lies between zero point 0.3 and 0.75, then variables are said to be moderately correlated. And if it comes out to be more than 0.75, then variables are said to be strongly correlated. Now, the interpretation is done using by mixing 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. That is, if correlation comes out to be 0.89, then variables under consideration are said to be strongly positively linearly related or strongly positively correlated. As the value is positive, so that are positively linearly related, and value is greater than 0.75, so that are strongly positively linearly related. That means if value of one variable increases, then the value of other variable also increases, and change in one variable highly depends upon the change in other variable. Similarly, if value of correlation coefficient comes out to be minus 0.58, then minus means variables are negatively linearly related, and 0.58 lies between zero point 0.3 and 0.75, which said that variables are moderately correlated. So we can say that variables are moderately negatively linearly related. If value of one variable, that is if value of one variable increases, then value of other variable decrease, but change depends moderately upon the other variable. There may be certain other causes which also affect the variable but are not considered while calculating the correlation coefficient. So that comes out to be in moderately related. Now another method of representing the correlation between two variables is Spearman rank correlation. As we have taken the assumption for Pearson's correlation that both the variables should be continuous. But if variables are not continuous, that is that are of discrete type or that are in ranking order, then we cannot use Pearson's correlation. In that situation, we use Spearman rank correlation. If variables are rank order, then it's okay. If that are of discrete type, well, then we assign ranking to the observations. That is, first, the observations are ranked in the descending order of both variables separately. That is, we assign ranking 1 to n to variable x, that is observation of variable x, and in same manner we assign ranking 1 to n to the variable y. But we cannot change the places of the observation, otherwise rank correlation will not be obtained correctly. Then we obtain the difference between the ranks, that is di. Di is rank of xi minus rank of yi for same set of observation. Then Spearman rank correlation is obtained by formula rho is equals to 1 minus 6 summation di square upon n into n square minus 1. The value of Spearman's rank correlation also lies between 1 and minus 1, and it is also interpreted in the same manner as Pearson's product moment correlation coefficient, but we not use the term linear related. Here we use only term correlated. Now, if variables are linearly related or comes out to be linearly related, Then if we change the value of one variable, then what changes would occur in other variable? It cannot be interpreted with the help of a scatter plot. It cannot be interpreted with the help of any of the correlation coefficient. Then for the purpose we use linear regression, or you can say regression only. Regression is of two types: linear regression and curvilinear regression. If we use equation of line, that is in, then we said it is a linear relationship. Or if we use equation of curve like parabola or any other curve, then it is called as curvilinear regression. For fitting the regression, we consider the data of continuous type only. We cannot consider discrete data, we cannot consider categorical data or qualitative data. And regression tell what changes would occur in one variable when unit changes are made in other variable. The model for regression analysis or linear regression is given by yi is equals to beta naught plus beta 1 xi plus epsilon I. If we consider only two variables, yi and xi, that is y and x. And if there are more than two variables involved, then model can be extended as yi is equals to beta naught plus beta 1 x1i plus beta 2 x2i plus so on beta k xki plus epsilon I. Beta naught is, sorry, this model is called as multiple linear regression model. Y is called as response variable or dependent variable. Xi is called as independent variable or predictor or regressors. The term dependent means the variable y depends upon the variable x, whereas are called as independent variable, as we can make change in the values of x, but we cannot make the changes in the values of y. As we can make changes in x, that are called as independent variable. Epsilon is called as random error term, which can occur due to unavoidable causes or the causes we are not considering in our model. Beta naught is called as intercept parameter, and beta j's are called as slope parameter. If you remember the equation of line in mathematics, y is equals to a plus bx, then a is called as intercept, b is called as slope. Or you can say mx plus c, m is called as slope and c is called as intercept. In same manner, beta naught is intercept parameter and beta j are called as slope parameter. While performing the linear regression analysis, certain assumptions must be fulfilled. These assumptions are: number one, dependent as well as independent variables must be continuous, and predictors must be linearly related with the dependent variable. That is, first we use a scatter plot, check whether these are linearly related or not. Then we use correlation coefficient to check whether these are slightly correlated, moderately correlated, or highly correlated. Generally, regression is used for more highly correlated variables. If there are only two variables, if there are more than two variables, then we can go for moderately correlated variables. But generally, slightly correlated variables are not used for regression. The dependent variable, that is yi, should be normally distributed, or you can say that random error term should be normally distributed. Predictors, that is independent variables, should be uncorrelated with each other. That is, no relationship occur between the variable x1 and x2. Dependent variable must be homogeneous, and dependent variable does not depend upon its past value. That is, if we have take measurement one day before and today we are taking another measurement, that both the measurements should not be depend upon each other. Now we consider the linear regression between two variables x and y only. So set of observations is represented as xi, yi. So using that variables x and y, we can fit two equation of lines. One is called as line of x on y, that is xi is equals to alpha naught plus beta xy yi plus epsilon I. In same manner, another equation of line can be represented as line of y on x, that is yi is equals to alpha 1 plus beta yx xi plus epsilon I dash. Here for notation, epsilon I and epsilon I dash both are random error term. Beta xy is slope of line for of x on y, and beta yx represent the slope of line y on x. The main purpose of regression analysis is obtain the estimate of unknown parameters alpha naught, beta xy, alpha 1 and beta yx. So for obtaining the parameters, we use the method of least square, in which we minimize the error sum of square. As it is, you know, in every numerical experiment that error should be minimum. So we minimize error. Here in statistics, error is measured in terms of sum of square, that is called as error sum of square, which is represented as SSE is equals to summation I goes 1 to n epsilon I square. So from previous equation, yi is equals to alpha 1 plus beta yx plus epsilon I. We can put the value of epsilon I, that comes out to be yi minus alpha I minus beta yx xi, and error sum of square will become summation yi minus alpha 1 minus beta yx xy whole square. And for minimum, its partial derivative with respect to alpha 1 and beta yx should be 0. That is, del SSE upon del alpha 1 is equals to 0 and del SSE upon del beta yx is equals to 0. On differentiating and solving, we get y bar is equals to alpha 1 plus beta yx x bar, and with this, if we differentiate with respect to beta, then we would get equation summation I goes 1 to n xi yi is equals to alpha 1 summation I goes 1 to n xi plus beta yx summation xi square. These two equations, y bar is equals to alpha 1 plus beta x bar and summation xi yi is equals to alpha 1 summation xi plus beta summation xi square, are called as normal equation. On solving these normal equations, we would obtain that the estimate of slope parameter comes out to be covariance of xy upon variance of x, and intercept parameter, estimate of intercept parameter comes out to be y bar minus beta yx x bar. Similarly, if we consider the equation of line of x on y, then the slope parameter comes out to be covariance xy upon variance of y, and intercept parameter comes out to be x bar minus beta xy y bar. Here are some properties of regression coefficient. Regression coefficient is free from change of origin but not of scale. That is, if we define two variables w and z such that w is equals to x minus a upon c and z is equals to y minus b upon d, then beta wz comes out to be c beta xy upon d, and beta zw comes out to be d beta yx upon c. If beta yx and beta xy are estimate of regression coefficients for equation of line of y on x and equation of line of x and x on y respectively, and R be the correlation between x and y, then beta xy into beta yx is equals to square of the correlation coefficient. That means product of regression coefficient of line of y on x and line of x on y gives square of correlation coefficient. That is, beta xy into beta yx is equals to r square. And if we take the ratio of these regression coefficients or slope parameters, that is beta xy upon beta yx, then it will be similar to the ratio of variance of x with that of variance of y. That is, beta xy upon beta yx is equals to variance upon x upon variance of y. Furthermore, some curvilinear relationship are also considered. Generally, following four equations are considered, that are quadratic relation, cubic relation, power curve, and exponential curve. The quadratic equation is given by yi is equals to b naught plus b1 xi plus b2 xi square. Here the term xi have power 2, that is xi square. So it is called as quadratic equation. Here sum of square will again be SSE is equals to summation epsilon I square, which will give summation yi minus beta naught minus beta 1 xi minus beta 2 xi square whole square. Then we minimize again the error sum of square with respect to unknown constants beta naught, beta 1 and beta 2, which will give rise to the following three normal equations. These normal equations can easily be written. First, put the summation sign upon this equation, ignoring the term epsilon I. Then you will get first normal equation, that is summation yi is equals to nb naught plus b1 summation xi plus b2 summation xi square. Then second normal equation can be obtained by multiplying the coefficient of beta 1. That is xi is multiplied with complete equation ignoring the term epsilon I. That will give sum, and then sum it. It will give summation xi yi is equals to beta naught summation xi plus b1 summation xi square plus b2 summation xi cube. Similarly, third normal equation can be obtained by multiplying the equation with the coefficient of b2, that is xi square, and then sum it. It will give summation xi square yi plus b naught summation xi square plus b1 summation xi cube plus b2 summation xi to the power 4. That is this one. Here you get the three normal equations which I have told how these are framed. On solving these equations, we can obtain the value of b naught, b1 and b2. Similarly, cubic relation can be used. Here equation will be yi is equals to b naught plus b1 xi plus b2 xi square plus b3 xi cube plus epsilon I. And these can be easily solved with the help of normal equations. That is summation yi is equals to nb naught plus b1 summation xi plus b2 summation xi square plus b3 summation xi cube and so on. Third is power curve. The equation of power curve is given by y is equals to ax to the power b. If we take its log, then it will become log y is equals to log a plus b log x. We put log of capital Y as a small y, log of a is equals to capital A, and log of x is equals to small x. Then it would become y is equals to a plus bx, which is similar to equation of line. And by using the results of equation of line, we can all easily obtain the value of a and b. Similarly, we can consider the exponential curve. Exponential curve is of two types. First one is y is equals to ab to the power x. Again, we take log, then it will again become the equation of line y is equals to a plus bx, which can directly solve with the help of linear regression. And other type is y is equals to a e to the power bx. Here we take natural log, that is ln of y is equals to ln a plus bx. It will again reduce to the equation of linear regression, and using that results we can easily obtain the value of parameter.